Clips, clips. And remember, citizens, always to subscribe and hit the bell. All will be well. And $9.95 will keep you out of jail. Or jail and hell at the same time. I've been reliably informed. And I'm just reliably informed as so I'm muted up. First time for everything. Oh. Spoke too soon. Citizens always too soon. Subscribe. The bell, all be well. 995. Problem solved. Hey, mic check. That seems to be working. Shut the fuck up, man. Right, there we go, sorted. Trying something new tonight. And you know what it's like when you try something new? And remember, the world's burning, people. So, let's have a shits and giggles about it. And I love I don't love what's happening in Ukraine right just now, but I love the fact it gives me examples to point to of the hysteria that I've been in the past, whether it be Iraq, Syria, and that other place I was just talking about, which I completely blanked on. Oh, this is going to be a fun night, man. My head's up my arse now, to be quite honest. Gives me examples to point to of. Yeah. So in the evening, one and all, thanks for turning up. Remember, if you thumbs it up, if you have had a good giggle and enjoy what I do. If you don't. Simples. That fucking wee incense thing never goes up. But anyway, it gives good examples for me to point to of hysteria that I've been in the past. The worst one for me was Syria. I was convinced it was like going to be World War III because basically Russia and America were firing at each other. You know, NATO wasn't involved. Hold on, I want my incense. And I've got a fucking gobby leg. Let's see if that fucking works, man. Oh, fuck me. Whew. Anyway, so it gives you examples for me to point to and go, I was convinced it was World War III, the world was burning. Alex Jones told us China was going to release nukes at that point as well. And he did, by the way. Alex Jones, he smells a lift in the fart and he's like, China's released a nuclear smell, women! I've heard him say that. Fact. So I thought it would be good to have a wee look at some of the shite that's came out. Laugh at it from all angles, whether it be RT or BBC or... That's all you really need to get the two polarised options, isn't it? Or Sputnik. Get Sputnik, that's even worse than RT. But in the evening, the one and all. Alright, Blazing, how you doing, my man? Canel. I don't even seem to stick my throat for some reason there. I'm no, it's not an under the table joke, I just fucking... Oh my god. And Cro-Magnon. Good people were in trying to make me say funny things. So thanks for turning up. You can also have a quick wee look at my line. Still suspended. Why is it suspended? Oh, because there's one without a result. But anyway, still no out the game yet. Oh, fuck, they're behind. They're drawn. Everyone else is drawn. They're up. Sorry to bore you with that shit. I was going to do a show last week, man, but I was just too depressed about the whole situation, man. Had to switch off and watch some Adam Sandler films for a fucking antidote. Fucking, the deep depression. And then the worst thing for me is, I wouldn't say it triggers me, right? But like, for a barrage of years, I think I got a grip of like seeing shite when I see it, and it's just a barrage of shite. I mean, do you know what it reminds me of? See, when you watch the two polarised sides of the story, NATO stroke BBC, RT obviously, Russian Federation, you kind of see that it's just like two brothers fighting, and then the mum and dad turning up and going, "Hey, fucking stop that, pack that in, you fucking wee tramps." And they both start pointing at each other. It was him! It was fucking him! It was fucking him! What the fuck is going on here? You've got this weird dynamic, and depending on how deep into conspiracy Compton you are, still or now or whatever, you might be believing purely the Russian narrative, right? Instead of looking at that as sceptical as the fucking BBC, because RT's just as bad. They're bombing fucking... Oh, anyway. But again, people will go, how do you know that's real and all that kind of shit? Well, some of that footage is really hard to make up, depending what it is. If it's just talking to a wee local saying shit, aye, fair enough. 9 times out of 10 they'll be off full of shite, or they've just went and scouted around for somebody to say what they want them to say. But with the sides off for getting took off of buildings and all that as well, and you need to think about this from a military perspective. Russians and Ukrainians will both use residential areas as a way of putting off getting their fucking heads blown off. Funnily enough, I don't know why they would do that. I don't know why they would try and stop their heads getting fucking blown off. But apparently that's what some of them are doing. So, oh, crazy days. And see, for me, this all goes back, traces back historically, and I don't even think it's that far a reach to the fall of the Soviet Union. In fact, it does go back to the fall of the Soviet Union and the promises the West made to Russia. There's no if, buts, or motherfucking maybes about this. For to get fucking bird shit head, Gorbachev with the bird shit, wasn't it? To get bird shit head to fucking back down and fucking do what the West wanted them to do, Soviet Union stroke Russia seeked assurances about certain things, and they got a certain assurance that the West and the NATO powers wouldn't expand that military power any further. So you'd have the Soviet or ex-Soviet states, and then you'd have the NATO members in Europe, and there would be a wee buffer zone. And then it's when the bits of territory started getting divvied up and fucking missiles moved in, it's like a fucking... It's like a mini Cuban Missile Crisis. America didn't like it when Russia put fucking nukes in their back door. So why do they think Russia will love it when they put nukes in their back door? It's a strategic tactical advantage. You know, the sooner you can fucking knock them out, the sooner you will knock them out, if that makes sense. And that's what I think this is all about. It goes back to the breakup of Yugoslavia as well. I think what happened, you could look at, you can look at it from like, a wee brown kid kicked a white guy and then they were all putting him in a shed or some shite. Whatever ethnic cleansing they dressed that fucking monstrosity up in. Or you could look at it from a geopolitical stance and see what's important. For where you place your big fucking motherfucking bombs that can knock the other side out. And especially, here's another thing as well, right? I know I'm ranting a bit here, but it's just shit. a lot of people haven't thought about. Here's another thing with what's happening between Russia and America as well, and put the conspiratardom genre in there as well. I remember back in the day when I first discovered RT and thought it was the best thing since sliced bread, and I was watching it, and I kept seeing all these Americans fucking setting their taps on fire, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And that, as well as a barrage of bullshit, set up such a large anti-fracking movement in the Western countries, all scared of earthquakes and all that. Which I know you're obviously on one side if you say that there's a lot of contrary evidence to the fact that these earthquakes are happening because of fracking. You know, you're obviously on the opposite side. But again, if you look at fracking from a geopolitical stance right now, Russia, the only fucking ace in the game they've got is the fact they've got Europe with the balls, with gas. If Russia turns off that gas, Europe will freeze. Fact. America right now is trying to frack the fuck out their fucking... They've got... I heard the other day, they've got over 2 million fracking drills now. The Americans. And I don't think they've crumbled to the ground yet. Over here in the UK, we've got the North Sea oil and gas fields. I can't remember the exact figures. It's either something like 70 or 80% we get. We're self-sufficient in, but we still need to import 10% for Russia. Now, if in here in the UK, and I've went 180 on this, people think I'm mental, but don't hold it against me. It's just an opinion. Go and check it out. Go and check the opposite side out. I went to 180 and thinking we should be fucking fracking for that 10% that we're missing for Russia if we just cut them off. And then Britain can really fucking start with a no-fly zone and kick fuck out of Russia. Oh man, it'll be like the Iraq war all over again, man. You'll be able to sit up all night watching BBC News 24 and all the fucking daft Americans going in like that. It's like PlayStation, man. But anyway, I digress. So there's a lot of other things going on here other than... there was disputed territory in Ukraine and Russia's invaded to save those people. There's a lot more going on here. And the stuff Russia's coming out with is just bizarro. You know, they're showing you columns of like, what was it, 14 miles or something? 14-mile columns. And... oh, but I don't know. I always get excited about these things. But it's interesting. It's definitely an interesting time to be alive again. But I would also stress as well, times in the past I've lost my shit and thought the end of the world's coming and all that, and it never transpires like that. And if it does, who gives a fuck? You're dead. But it's very hard not to lose your shit over this because of the amount of messages anybody and everybody's getting for the media, unless you literally just sit and switch off and watch Netflix all the time or what have you. There's no, in fact, even then there's a very hard way of escaping it. I can't listen to talk sport without getting fucking Ukraine piss shoved in my throat. Well, because that's all been politicised now with the football teams and whatnot. But I just hope the Russian team gets kicked out of the Europa League. Come on, the Gels. That's what I'm saying. But let me take care of this little chore. Should have done it earlier. Oh, smell my fingers. Let me take care of this little chore and then I will push the buttons that are desired and required. And you can see, like, I did actually mean to do something. The 2, the 22, the 2, the 2. It's not often you see that. But does anybody really give a fuck? Right, what do I need to do? I've got hunters there. Weird ass shit. Ready for tonight. Whether any of it's going to be still relevant or not, because it's obviously over a week old and whatnot. Righty-ho, let's see. First up, I can't even remember half his links. I've just started getting back into the routine when I'm looking at shit. Oh yeah, baby! You got to love this. Now, I'd already thought this had been done back in the previous World War 3.0. Russia versus America inside Syria. But the Russian aircraft will take part in Eastern Mediterranean drills. So they're not actually sending missiles to the country Syria. They're sending them with their soldiers that are carrying out Mediterranean drills. And again, this is part of the information war, fear-mongering, doom-mongering, you know, like, see your average Joe on the street, oh fuck, Russia's not preparing for fucking... They've done this many times before. They gave Syria hypersonic missiles, I'm pretty sure, back in the day of Assad, whenever that was. World War 3.0, can't remember what year that was, let me fucking guesstimate. Well, Ukraine was the first Ukraine was 2016, and I think Syria was a couple of years after that, 2018, 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. Anywho's, Russian long-range MiGs interceptors. See? Just absolutely pure warmongering. It's like, booga, 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 booga. But mystery UKS helicopter lands on my fucking house. Oh, you fucking whore of a fucking Babylonian one. Ah! I spilt my plate of spaghetti. But let me get the date on this. This was in America. This was before Russia had invaded, and America was saying that they're going to invade next week. And I think they must have got a heads up about something happening and pulled out some of their special ones. Make it the border, we'll pick you up there, folks. Sounds like Bonnie and Clyde, doesn't it? Maybe we're picking up Bonnie and Clyde, maybe they're still alive. Have they got I think they had video of this. Oh, fucking RT, does he work anymore, you fucking bastards? Your fuckers up on a free speech. This. Oh no, it was over Mexico. Just a plane. Get shredded. Oh, there's the video there. Look at that, man. It's quite impressive, as according to like most of these videos and stuff. But to mention it on this tweet, one of the possibilities was somebody suggested somewhere. Oh, it must have been on a tweet at the time when I was looking at it. But what they said is somehow the bird's navigation system fucked up. And rather than flying straight, it went woo! And it was like obviously a big flock of birds. And when they started seeing their other wee pals ahead of them hitting their head off the ground and dying, they went but pretty weird occurrence, right enough. I'm sick of these Fearofants going on about how technology is like learning how to be us and all that, man. I don't see it happening for a very long time. Program combines acting performance and algorithms to act coy or to tease. So it's not flirting, it's carrying out a fucking algorithm, a program. When he says this, I do that. When he does this, I go like that. They don't understand the concept. But hey ho, AI is going to take over the world. Arnold Schwarzenegger told us. Fuck me, man. Don't you know we've got a war on? COVID's dead now. I heard Russia killed COVID. Or was it Ukraine? Who's meant to be the good guys? One of them killed COVID, so we're all good now. We don't need to vaccinate. Next, see when you... Well, they do vaccinate babies, but maybe not with this one. Man, it's plateaued. It's an unmanageable level like flu has been for fucking 20, 30, 40 years. And they're still trying to push a vaccine on kids that young. That is crazy in my eyes. Oh yeah, baby. I might need to have to show you this. I don't know, let me see. I need to check my bets. Oh yeah. They're one each. 4-2. 2-0 Man City. 2-0 them. I need Tottenham to score. And Nice to score. And another couple of teams that I don't know. Anywho's. Right, I just fucking scaled something there. And it wasn't good. So, you think you've got it bad in your country? Come up here. We have an SNP dictatorship. Zeke Howdy SNP. If I don't say that, I'll get taken away. And their attitude is to roll this out to young children who are not, to a very minimum, getting affected with this shit. I think a young kid's more likely to die for an ingrown toenail than a fucking COVID, especially the strain it's going about now. Better now. Fucking hell. And do you know what cracks me up? See right now with them banning RT and all that shit, right? I'll show you how you can get RT on Firefox as well if you want. And they're pointing at RT and pointing out all the shit that they're doing, that they do themselves. Oh, there was a beautiful interview today on the BBC with a woman that can't speak right. I'm a smoker, I got no accent. And this guy was talking about how the Ukrainians, not the Russians, were stopping black people at the border and all that. You know, probably the neo-Nazi elements that nobody wants to talk about that exist in Ukraine. Oh, apart from Russia, of course. But I thought that was well fucked up. Alright, so what else happened? A footballer kicked a cat and this guy punched a horse. But Mr. Hoity Toity here didn't get anywhere near as much flack. Just saying. This is so funny, man. Is this no obvious to every cunt? Is this no blatantly obvious to everybody? Telegram has got an encryption that they don't share with the intelligence services, thus they can't fucking hack into it. Thus they need to infiltrate groups to get into those groups, and they don't like that. Just the same way they're shutting down fucking RT and all that shit. They don't believe you're intelligent enough to watch that and decipher it for yourself. That is not what they believe, you all. And this is obviously to do with Tommy Robinson and all that. Well, I don't say obviously. There's more people than Tommy Robinson out there using it. I used to have it and then fucking cancelled it, man. What is this pile of shite? There's a wee Pontiac song that I'll share with yous. Oh. Push the button, do, 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 do. Alright, Punk, how you doing? See if we can check it out, see if he's like it. That's exactly what they've done. They've just completely moved on for COVID because it's... They can't really fear you as much anymore over it, and moved on to fucking a big world war with Ruska, which is mental. Mental chicken Oreo. Last 2 years has been the plague. Oh shit, the team that's I mind it's 4-2 up. Just get a red card. Daft bastard. Right, now that accident is over, maybe it's a wee bit more focused. But if you're not going to ramble like a madman, what's the point really? So I shared that link with you so you can go and check this out. Well, this was... it was because of a comment on this video. It got brought back up, man. This is an oldie but goodie, and I'd never seen it put this way before.
You were both in Skull and Bones, the secret society.
It's so secret we can't talk about it.
What does that mean for America? The conspiracy theorists are going to go
I'm
on.
sure they are. I don't know. I haven't seen the web.
Number 322?
First of all, he's not the nominee. And, look, I look forward...
Are you prepared to lose?
No, I'm not going to lose.
You both were members of Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale. What does that tell us?
Not much, because it's a secret.
Is there a secret handshake? Is there a secret code?
I wish there were something secret I could manifest.
322, a secret number?
There are all kinds of secrets, Tim, but one thing is not a secret. I disagree with this president's direction that he's taking the country. We can do a better job, and I intend to do it.
And we'll be watching. Be safe on the campaign trail. John Kerry, thanks for joining us. And we'll be right back.
I'm Tom Brokaw, NBC News, and it is my sad duty to report this afternoon that my friend and colleague, Tim Russert, the moderator of Meet the Press and NBC's Washington bureau chief, collapsed and died early this afternoon while at work at the NBC News Bureau in Washington. Tim had just returned from a family trip to Italy with his wife, Maureen Orth, the writer, and his son, Luke. They were celebrating Luke's graduation from Boston College.
It's just one of those wee weird coincidences that happen in the world. Do you know who else is in the Skull and Bones? Batman! Kid you not? You want to see? I'll show you.
I must pop them in the oven right away.
Ooh, fucking Batman's great granddad was fucking founded Skull and Bones. Straight for fucking Pound Man himself. But anyway, again, just another one of those wee coincidences. So not only is George Bush and John Kerry and and Skull and Bones, so is fucking Batman's granddaddy anyway. But where'd you think Bruce Wayne gets all his wealth and power from? Hopefully I've got this up. Can I remember this shit? Oh, aye, the Russell Trust. That's what the Skull and Bones is really called. The Russell Trust. Do you want to know where they made their money? Dealing in opium, baby! First ever OGs and smack dealing. This is the kind of shit I find fascinating. Let's see, business name for the New Haven, Connecticut based Skull and Bones Society, incorporated in 1856. I'm trying to think where America was at in 1850s, if I look confused. But incorporated by William Huntington Russell, that's where the Russell Trust comes from. It's President. Let me see if I can. Does it tell you where you get your? No, it doesn't. Does it? Fuck. Sorry, I'm just trying to see. I should have actually looked into this. But that's where the Russell Trust, the people in the Russell Trust made all their money. I think you can see Prescott Bush was in it. Oh, it's fascinating to see the wee... What's going on behind the curtain? Opium, that's what I'm looking for. Oh no. That doesn't seem to be in there. But you can go and check it out yourselves. Let's see if I got the 322 stuff up. Early life, there we go. Oh, sorry, man. I'm not going to sit there and just stay quiet. I should have looked at. I should have got some links up for that. But you can go and check it out. There's a list of some of the members that are known about. Quite a lot of well to do men, but this is the kind of stuff, I don't know, I find this stuff fascinating. I won't go use it. Did I get the 322 thing out? No, I did not. No problem. Alright, here we go. Now, this was just something I thought about myself when I seen the number 322. I was wondering, what the fuck can it mean? And then you put a wee bit into the history, the religion, where these people come from. All a bunch of wasps, basically. So if they are going to quote chapter and verse, if that's going to be their secret wee code, it's going to be straight out the King James, baby. Let me make sure it is the King James, actually. Oh, there we go. And think of a big bunch of wealthy elites. So there's the Genesis 3:22, where it all started. And the Lord God said, the man has become as one of us. The Lord God said, behold, as one of the man becomes one of us. Right? So that's this little society believing that they're a bunch of gods, basically. They're all individual popes. This is you won't find this anywhere else, man. This is this mad shit I came up with my own. To know good and evil. Ooh, that's the black and the white. That's the yin and the yang. And now, at least he put forth his hand. And take also of the tree of life. You ever seen the wee apple sign? It's an apple with a bite out of it. And eat and live forever. So that's my best guess, basically. When you read the verse, now I had the idea of going in and checking out the verse, and I was like, nah, it'll be a bunch of shite. It'll be an absolutely bunch of shite. And when I read the verse, I was like, well, that's, to me, it's compelling. Whether it's true or not, who the feck knows. But anyway, I got down that roadway. The fuck is this shit? Oh, simply the best, I know what that is. Oh, right, aye, because most successful football team in the world. Now, you might think there it says second. It depends how you interpret it. And if you go with league titles, we are the most championships instead of all your wee Ponzi Cups and all that shit. Rangers are the most successful football team in the world. Just saying. I love that fact. Oh God, man. Must have been watching football. Oh, this was something I wanted to show you. This was a brilliant wee video, man, I thought. You want to get in the changing rooms, right?
You also said it smells.
It does. Get same smell. Fantastic. Probably certainly one of my favourite, if not my most favourite part of the stadium. When you think about it, 15 years every day coming into this place, same place.
This is your future.
And imagine.
Oh, there we go. That's what I wanted to show you.
Well, the first thing you do when you walk in, you always check to see that Her Majesty's up there, and Her Majesty's up above the door as well, and she's still there looking.
Like, that's a tradition that holds to today. And I know a lot of people just think of the Queen as a queen, but she's also head of a church. Funnily enough, a white Anglo-Saxon church. But I think that's a great tradition to have, man. Probably wouldn't see me kissing the frame or anything, but
over the team, so you still see the managers standing there doing their team talk, and then I
just wanted to show you that with old Ibrox. Oh God. Oh, this is because I was annoyed that Eminem and Dr. Dre wearing skinny jeans. They're sellouts. I mean, it's a fucking bad day when that shit's fucking going on, man. Get down the poopy. Shit, what's going on? I'm having major malfunctions. I think I was going back to when they didn't. Well, let me see if I can get an example of how they used to dress. This is I don't know, I just hate skinny jeans. I've got a real aversion to them. Getting old. See, sellouts, man. What the fuck is this? Right, let's get back to. Oh, there we go, the Rangers picture. I know this will be winding some folk up, but take it with a bit of pinch of salt, man. But that is in Ibrox before you run out into the park. World's most successful football club. See the 55, that's our league championships, and that's the world record. And put the rest in consideration, we're only like 2 behind the most in the whole entire, the most trophies in the whole world. But a lot of the trophies are Mickey Mouse ones, so you can't, it's no real good gauge that. And, shit, wrong button. And the team that's got the most actually comes for Egypt. Don't worry, there will be up-to-date stuff at some point. Right. What the fuck is going on here? This must be war somewhere. Well, I can't remember. Oh, is this Russia loading their troops? Ah, there we go. Got to the good stuff. Hey, war! Who? What is it good for? Making YouTube videos. Sing it again! War! Yeah! What is it good for? Making lots of videos. Sing it again! It's just how you look at things, man. Is that guy's name Otan? Oh my god, I can't let... I need to stop that music. I'm going to literally shit my pants. It's like a music laxative. You don't know what's going on, but you're like... spraying it, man. Right. I've got some first hand experience in this, right? See, East European woman, your average one, they're typically a really good young looking lassies, but there's something that happens to them. I think there's a wee ugly monster in East Europe, and it's called a babalenka stick. And when they hit a certain age, they go around and beat all the good looking women, looking like wee potato women, and then put a fucking headscarf on them. Telling you. Good looking girl, horrible looking old woman. Well, on already I needed to do something to not shit my pants, so I thought about Babalenka. Oh no, man, I can't. The fuck? Oh, I've been watching lots of... Who's this dude? I wish I could remember more, but remember this is over a week ago and the world's ended since then. Shit, man. Hey, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. All good. How you doing? Happy boy?
I've got a store. What you up to? He's busy.
Sorry for my own personal shit amusement, man. I've got a stoner. What he's up to? I should listen to that. If he's like that kind of crack, man, the amount of stuff you get is fucking amazing, man. I'm trying to remember some of them. Oh, they get caught with peaches all the time. Oh, hi. A guy sent in a tweet and he went, the first thing I do in the morning is go and drop my 2 kids off in his pool. And if you don't decipher that, man, that kind of childish bit part humour, which I'm a fan of. So that guy's got a stoner and he made it on to Talk Sport. That's well cool, man. Uh-oh, back to war. Oops, what the fuck's this?
50 million planned. The University of Queensland vaccine will not be able to proceed. 50 million planned doses scrapped after triggering false positive results for HIV.
As in science, things don't always go right. It's certainly a tough day for the team.
The UQ vaccine applied a molecular clamp closing the coronavirus spikes using an HIV protein which falsely triggered infection markers.
Everybody who had the vaccine did show some level of false positive result.
You just fell out.
What the fuck?
Well, again, I could have lost my shit over that years ago, but now I look at it and I'm thinking, right, number one, the source. Right, because it looks like a normal news channel doesn't mean it is. And then what's the other thing? I don't know personally if this is a common practice in all vaccines for whatever reason, and there is no threat, but the word HIV makes people shit a brick. Just like that music that was on that fucking war film. But what the hell is this? Oh.
The Honourable Member for Oshawa.
Thank you, Mr.
Forgot
Speaker.
this facts. I thought
this colleague's speech. I had a constituent that wanted me to ask a question about outside interference to our democracy. Klaus Schwab is the head of the World Economic Forum, and he bragged how his subversive WEF, World Economic Forum, has, quoted, infiltrated governments around the world. He said that his organization had penetrated more than half of Canada's cabinet. And I was wondering, in the interest of transparency, could the member please name which cabinet ministers are on board with the WEF's agenda? My concern is the deputy.
Order. I know that the member was in a really good question there, but the audio is really bad and the video is really bad as well. And I apologize. I don't know if the member. Okay, let's try again. The honourable member for Timmins James Bay.
Mr. Speaker, that member was promoting open disinformation. That's not debate. We have to call out disinformation.
We'll get into debate again. The honourable.
Oh my God! Is that Boris Johnson of the Canada world? Hold on. Let's see it again, Sam.
Middlesex.
Let's play it again, Sam.
Question there, but the audio is really bad and the video is really bad as well. And I apologize. I don't know if the member. Okay. Let's try again. The honourable.
It's this guy that shouts here.
The honourable member for Timmins James Bay.
Mr. Speaker, that member was promoting open disinformation. That's not debate. We have to call out disinformation.
We'll get into debate.
I have just an inch or two are becoming half Bobo, ain't he, man? My God, how many fucking political operatives of the Bobo Johnson household got around the world, man? I can't believe that is actually Boris Johnson. Right, let's listen to the rest of it to see what they say.
Again, the honourable member, questions and comments, the honourable member for Lambton, Kent, Middlesex.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I'm just thank you to my honourable colleague for her speech. I'd like to ask her specifically because you talked about how this piece of legislation does not.
When I mention our names like Mrs. Merkel, even Vladimir Putin, and so on, they all have been young global leaders of the World Economic Forum. But what we are very proud of now is the young generation, like Prime Minister
I might have time to get in our cup of tea, man. My throat's raspy.
Of Argentina and so on, that we penetrate the cabinets. So yesterday I was at a reception for Prime Minister Trudeau, and I know that half of this cabinet, or even more, half of this cabinet are actually young global leaders of the World Economic Forum.
And that's true in Argentina too. Wow. Yeah. Sorry. That's true in Argentina as well.
It's true in Argentina and
West England, leading to a fairly grey, damp
Thursday. Man, is the BBC hijacking me and sent? See, fucking. Odd. Well, it's just something I like to point out. You might think that's the American flag. It isn't. It isn't the British flag either. It's the East India Corporation flag. Look, there's hundreds of them, man. You see flags like this around all the world. Australian one, the American one. And people don't get the symbology, man. Oh shit, what the fuck's this? Where's my next clip I can play while I make a cup of tea?
In prison.
I think that's Oxford Mosley.
Wynne, have you any comments to make on the way you were treated in prison?
Not at this stage, gentlemen. They treated me in the way that they felt about things.
Is this a prison haircut, Mr. Wynne?
It's their interpretation of a haircut, but it goes a little less than it is now.
When did you first know you
In
were
fact,
coming
they
home?
shave heads.
When did
Shave
you,
my head.
When did you first know you were coming
Hold on, I'll need to remember the context of this bad boy, man. He's obviously a British spy that's been caught and then let out. There was the flags of East India Corporation. I think I should have got them earlier on. There's a lot of the variants you'll see all around. This was me saying Eminem now looks like David Platt. I swear to God, man, it's almost identical to fucking David Platt, man. When I seen this picture, I thought Eminem was going to bounce up and go, I'm a 50-year-old man doing diss tracks, motherfucker. Anyway. Chris. My head was on that funny side of the fucking Super Bowl at the time, man. Alright, always good to I think this is getting us to the proper war now. But time. Wanted the war, man. Right, why is that doing that? Shouldn't be doing that, motherfucker. There we go. Right. I mean, how do you fucking stop it? That's bullshit. Try and do this. Bet shit works. No, it's no. That's the most annoying fucking thing ever. I don't know why that's happening. Right, let me see. What the fuck is going on here? My computer's been hijacked with the BBC. Trying to propagandise us all. Oof, I think I might know what it is. Might be the VPN. I installed today. Not playing ball. This is ridiculous. I'm going to go into my MP's lobby. Right, let me fucking change tabs, you fucking losers. Only one way to deal with this. Oh, I just realised. No, I didn't realise what was going on. Well confused, man. It many mices. Windows. Right. And just like that. No, that's not like that. Ah, man, it's doing the same thing. Sorry to be so confused about this, but honestly, like, all I'm doing is moving in the fucking... This isn't playing ball either. Oh, it's because I've been talking about the Bible. God's interfering. Oh, do you know what I honestly think it is? Look, I'm clicking on the Wikipedia about the Crimea War, and it's no fucking working. My computer's been acting like a tramp all day because of fucking the UK and the EU banning us for fucking RT. We fucks. That is the most confusing thing in the world. Is my mouse broke? No. I think it might be the wheel. Right, I just need to stop using the wheel. For whatever fucking... I hate it when things go wrong. Just like pushing the wrong button here. That genuinely has me confused why it's no flipping to the thingy. Usually all you need to do is turn it off. Start again. I guess because I've got so much shite on. Anywho's. Turn it off and start again. That's what I say to the thingy. Usually all you need to do is turn it off. I don't sound confused, too confused, you daft cunt. It's still doing the same thing. I think the deep state Illuminati have finally penetrated my browser. Let me see, is that still working okay? Aye, it is. It's all good in the hood. Oh, yes, it is. Right, I need to think of solutions here. I can't. Oh, there we go. Has something happened? Something might be happening, folks. Watch the space. Yep. Right. Something's going down in the town. No, I need to... No, this is the killer. Right now. Yeah, baby! The button works! Right, I think to get a bit of context of what's going into this war right now, it's always good to look back in history and see these places have been fought over before. I always, see when people, anyway, see when there's wars, I always like to go and look at the dates of when the fucking... Well, you'll be surprised at how young the Ukrainian flag is for these peoples. Citizens. The Crimean War, 1853, which Russia lost to an alliance France. Ottoman Empire, which is always interesting. Also, another interesting fact is, you see that his granddaddy or great-granddaddy that was very high up in the Ottoman Empire. Boris Johnson, sorry. Went off on a pure weird tangent there. In Sardinia, which I think is a part of Italy. The immediate cause of the war was involved in not being able to find your mouse. There we go. The immediate cause of the war, right, the Christian minorities in Palestine. Not the first time the Jew land's been fought over then, which was part of the Ottoman Empire. Alright, so this was an early campaign to weaken the Ottoman Empire's grip over Judonia, which obviously then flipped hands when the Ottoman Empire came crumbling down. So right there, the Brits were using it to beat the Russians, and that was part of actually weakening the Ottoman Empire's grip inside Judonia. That's very interesting. Which was part of the Ottoman Empire. The French promoted the rights of Roman Catholics, the Russians promoted those of the Orthodox. Long-term causes involved the decline of the Ottoman Empire, the expand. Coincidentally, the Russo-Turkish wars, and the French and British preferred to preserve the Ottoman Empire to maintain the balance of power in the continent of Europe. See, it's very interesting. And there's just some flags. What was the casualties? Like $250,000, just a wee $250,000 there. Another wee $250,000. Took like, oh, there's like nearly 900,000, 700,000 nearly. Oh, Napoleon III was involved with it. 1853. Very interesting. And I don't know if you know where Crimea is, but Crimea is the area where Russia says that the people had the right to self-determination, which is guaranteed under the UN Charter. And the UN and NATO turn around and go, it was annexed! It was annexed! What Russia does was a bit aggressive, man, but it's nothing like... It's the same stunt the West pull and all the deserts they've invaded. You know, one day they'll turn up and go, hey, I've got a wee box here. Hey, Mr. Brown Man, put a ticket in this for me. Oh, woohoo, you just voted. Cheers, pal. And that's a simplification. That's me overcomplicating it. But there was a wee bit of the old Crimea War. What else have we got? What the fuck is this? The Savoy Yard State. Right. Off from Sardinia, right, it was people that were involved in. I must have just been doing my nosy. There's the King James thing. It's all fucked up now. I always like to point this out, right? Like, Judonia was created after World War II, in a long in a process. The flag was created in and around that time, more or less, and Zionism wasn't around much before World War I, I don't believe. Not in the form as we currently know it back to Jerusalem. Here you have the heart of the British Houses of Parliament. So you get House of Lords and House of MPs, they meet there. That's the lobby, if you get me. That's where they both go down to the wee flanks. Flank off. Spread up. And if you can see clearly on the floor, it's the Star of David. So my proposal is Star of David is less to do with Judaism than it's more to do with the people who created it. If that makes sense. Because the people that were creating it were kicking about, and this was, alright, let me tell you when this was built. It was built early 19th century. At the time of the Houses of Parliament. Over 100 years before the creation of Israel and that flag. And Judaism's association with it. I must have shown you this. A bit of memorabilia I picked up for a lodge that was shutting down. Oh man, I could have spent thousands in there, man. I done loads of cool shit. But I don't know, I find that very interesting, and again, it contributes to the crazy theory I have about the creation of Israel and who's running it and who the Zionists really are and what their real motive is. But it's just crazy old me. Oh, there's the central lobby. I bet I know I got the date wrong. Come on, give me the goodness. Right. Control. Find 1870. Oh, hold on, is that up down there? No, that's the suffragettes targeting it. So when the fuck was it? I know, I can remember it was the early 19th century, so I'm not gonna... How dare questions me? Right, what the hell was this? Let's get to the war. What's it good for? Shit. I've got a Subway sitting over there. I'm gonna go and polish off. Seem to have the same shit. Alright, here we go. Palace of Westminster demolished. That's when they installed the current design in the lobby they have just now. Between 1840 and 76. It's kind of right. I was a boy here afterwards. Said more mid in 19th century, but Jesus, sometimes I can't remember my own name, never mind fucking stuff like that. Oh, who the hell was talking about what? I had somebody in mind that obviously looked like one of the Fraggles. Think Harp? No. Can't remember. Let's see if it pops up now. Oh, was it Richie Allen? Don't know, does he have his face on camera anymore? Is that Itchy Richie? No, it's not. See, I honestly thought Itchy Richie must have died or something. I hadn't seen, talked, touched base with him. I never listened to even any of this stuff. Where's the dates though? So he's still about in the modern context. Is that him though or somebody else? Oh God. You want to see him? You want to see him when you're hungover? Right up here. Podomatic, yeah.
Welcome to Tuesday's programme. It's 5 o'clock. That is UK time here in Salford.
Aye. Still going strong. I just put him in there out of curiosity. I wanted to definitely touch base with him. Alright, Brighton Micmac, how yous doing? Oh, look at this, that's real. Do you know what it is? It's an anti-aircraft battery, as they would call it. And the reason I've got the part is all the ammunition's in the middle. And as you can see, it's designed to be able to reach the battery in a very quick manner for those wee roads, lines and stuff. And it's a very effective formation to launch an aircraft. And that's the old Soviet one. Oh, why? I can't remember if it was in Cuba or no. Sorry, I've got annoying snorter. Oh, there's a closer up of it. So you can see it's just like a bunch of anti-aircraft guns battered around that, and that's so any vehicles or anything can get around that as quick as possible for obvious reasons if they want to restock the ammunition in that. Oh, it was in Cuba. My memory serves me right. And that was anti-aircraft, by the way. It wasn't like nuclear.
Mr. Wynne, have you any comments to make on the way you were treated in prison?
Not at this stage, gentlemen.
Oh no, what happened?
The way you were treated. Mr. Wynne, have you any comments to make on the way you...
This fucking is acting as weird as a motherfucker tonight, I'm telling you.
Have you any comments to make on the way you were treated in prison?
Not at this stage.
I think this is this real spy of a film I watched.
Is this a prison haircut, Mr. Wynne?
Aye, it is actually.
Haircut, but it goes a little less than it is now.
When did you first know you
In
were
fact, they shave heads.
When did
Shave
you,
my head.
When did you first know you were coming home, Mr. Wynne?
Well, this was the same question, you see. I didn't know.
Right, now, look at the date on that. It's obviously in the archive footage with Associated Press. Do you think it was a coincidence it was coming back around in my cycle when I once in a blue moon looked into the boob tubes? 2015? And I'm saying for obvious reasons, like East Germany equals Soviet Union equals Russia. If you don't know that.
Until officially I was coming home until I was taken from this place in East Berlin.
When were
That
you
was
held
this morning.
That was this morning.
This
When
was
were
this
you
morning,
handed over?
excuse me, this morning at 4 o'clock.
Mr. Wynne, a lot of people in this country are obviously wondering why you pleaded guilty to this spying charge. Have you any comment to make about that?
Oh, gentlemen, please, at the present time, I am not going to make any comment on this matter.
Were you able to make anything for your son while you were in prison, which you brought home for him?
I didn't have an opportunity.
And if you stick his name in, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find the film if you wanted to watch it, man. I must have been quite... I can remember it being quite interesting, man. Right, then it gets a bit fucking B-roll footage. Yes, I'm coming home or getting out the airport.
Things, rather pleasant things to one another.
I know it's very premature, Mr. Wynne, but have you any idea of what you're going to do in the future?
Oh, I want to get back to my normal business activities as soon as I possibly can.
Will that be the same company?
With my own company, yes.
Will you travel in East Europe again?
Oh, now that is quite a question which I can't answer today.
What have you got in mind for the next few days?
Oh, to be with my family and get away from you, gentlemen. I hope you're not going to bother me again after today.
Did they make you work?
Look, on prison matters, I can't discuss this. I don't wish to discuss this at the moment.
It's reported that you've been very ill, sir. Could you tell us something about that?
Well, I feel as I look, gentlemen.
Did they treat you for what is reported to be an ulcer, Mr. Wynne?
An old spy?
I didn't have any treatment of any
no medical
special-
treatment whatsoever in prison.
Well, they certainly did what they thought they should do.
And how do you feel now, sir, as far as your health is concerned?
Well, as I look.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wynne.
Thank you very much.
Gentlemen, I hope you'll leave me alone.
You want me going back to his old... Well, anyway, you can go and check him out, man. I can remember it being really interesting. Alright, and this is a book that I was shocked to find that existed in Poland when I had a Polish girlfriend. And I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And see if you're average East European, they don't have anywhere near this. I'm not saying the wrongs or the rights, by the way. I'm saying they don't have anywhere near the same attitude as your average dude for the Britain, let's say. And I know this for a fact, and I mean, like, it's to the stage where it's like clash, man. But here's an old child's book for Poland. Morznik Bambo. Bambo the Black Child. Woohoo! It's a children's poem by the Jewish Polish author Julian Twim. It's about a little black boy called Bambo who lives in Africa. Let me see. It must tell you the whole fucking thing. A young black African child who diligently studies in an African school. When he returns home, he fools around and is told off by his mother. He reacts by throwing. When offered milk by his mother, he runs off and climbs a tree. There's a part he didn't wash his face as well. Oh, there we go. He tells his mother, his mother tells him to have a bath, but he's afraid that he will whiten. Oh man, his mother loves him though. The poem ends by saying that this is a pity, this is a pity that black happy Bambo doesn't go to school with us. Now, Not only was I told this book existed, I was then pointed to the children's fucking bedroom and brought it out, and I'm like, what the fuck? And you should see the illustrations. Let's see if we can see some, man. Now, to me, it's just quite funny, but like, and I'm using this to as one example of how places that are thousands of miles away can be completely different in lots of ways and accept different X, Ys, and Zs. If that makes any sense. Like he's got a tail and everything. Look. Like there's the one there where I'm dancing with a monkey in a grass skirt and a stick. Oh my god, man, I used to find that horrific and funny at the same time. Apparently still going strong, to be quite honest with you. Anyway, don't want to dwell on it too much, but you live and you learn. Now, I just use that as an example, how people can be thousands of miles, hundreds if not thousands of miles away, and have completely different attitudes because their culture has changed differently, different speeds, and you can't condemn one over the other. I mean, like, maybe Britain's version is, what did you call those wee black dolls? Gollywogs! Right, I remember them being on marmalade jars. That's where I was introduced to gollywogs. No, I think my sister had one or something. But they're just dolls young girls had. But anyway, can't be asked talking about that shit, man. Alright, this is the stuff I got together very quickly today. And it's just to kind of paint a picture. I went back to the Crimea War. Look what was happening there. Religion, yet again, was used for empires to change territory. The NATO bombed Belgrade. I don't know if he's noticed. But of course they were doing it for peace. You know, the same thing that Russia's saying just now. The exact same. We are bombing, but we're bombing for peace. It's like mining for air. It's an oxymoron. So they're bombing for peace. NATO strikes on Belgrade. And this is just your top Google search, right? So there might be different numbers and figures out there. So 1,500 people killed, roughly. Great, that, isn't it? What year was this again? No, it wasn't 1244. Oh, it was the Declaration, 1244. Alright, 1995. And what was the excuse at the heart of this, yet again? Religion. The excuse. And I also believe it had a deeper meaning in the sense that Russia's influence was growing there and NATO wanted to stop it because at the time that was on the door with Poland, which was Europe at the time. So it's almost like today's roles are completely reversed back then. You know? The West has to come up with their version of what's going on. Russia has to come up with their version of what's going on. Who they're saving, who they'll know. And it's stuff like this. Oh, fuck, let me see. I need to check my line. Ah, fuck. Tottenham fucked me, yeah, oh no, Tottenham are fucking me. Who fucked me? Completely. Oh, they wee bastards. M&M actually versus Hellman Sport. Fucking 1.25 to 1. No good. But hey ho, it was worth it for a wee bit of side banter. So it was called Operation Delta Force at the time, you know, the cooler name they could sell it. And I don't know if you remember, it was only like maybe Sky News at the time, if not just your ITV and BBC. So you were only, well, it's back to that now, innit? You are only allowed to fucking hear what you're allowed to hear now. And they've shut down fucking Russia Today and stuff. Because maybe Russia have gave their fucking operation a cool name, and we might be fooled. Operation Skidmark. Nah, we can't go with that one. Operation Pussy Punch. Maybe not. Operation Smell My Finger. Nah. Operation Iron Fist. Yay! I bet you there has been an Operation Iron Fist. Maybe it's coming at me subliminally. But again, I would argue this was NATO versus Russia, dressed up in other bullshit, and Russia didn't like it because it was obviously NATO taking a land grab towards Russia's border, which they've continued, and this was back in 1995. So nearly 20 years ago. No, over 20 years ago. Right. Let me move on, Fate. Then you had the Kosovo War as well, which was all wrapped up in this. It was like the kind of wider conflict rather than just in Belgrade. Fuck knows, I can't. I'm not going. You can go and find the figures if you want to be depressed. The campaign killed 1,500 to 2,000 civilians. Well, that's quite a spot one with the early things, but they must be using the same figures. And this again was Russia. I believe Russian-backed entities. That's where they were getting their weapons from. Fighting NATO's backed entities to be in control of that area of land. Alright, sorry, I should have got a map up. I love a good map, man. In the evening, Bright, how you doing, my man? OG Sky Walker, how you doing, buddy? Okie dokie, right. Okie dokie, pig in a pokey, that was the wrong one. Right, because to understand what's going, I think to understand what's really going on here, that it's land wars between NATO and the Russian Federation, you do need to look at it in the map. Right, there's the Black Sea up there. What a stupid thing. So the old Yugoslavia used to be a lot of these states, the Slavic states, East Slavs, Serbia, I think Croatia was in it. Montenegro was it as well. I can't remember the exact ones, right? But it was a wee entity around here. You had Ukraine, which was the Soviet Union at the time. You had Belarus, and all that was around to Kaliningrad was the Soviet Union. You obviously, you had the like NATO and Europe's border at the time on the east with Poland, and then sort of a curving round there to the top tip of Italy. And all these other states were quite sort of a... I was going to be sympathetic to the Soviet Union, but they were in cooperation with them and stuff, and that's what NATO's worry was at that time, and they addressed it by blowing them the fuck up. Killing a country, Yugoslavia, God knows how long that existed before they split it up. Now what's happening is Russia, the same thing's happening with Russia when NATO's tried to make the land grab in Ukraine. Russia's put the line in the sand and went, nope. No further ball bag. Look how big Ukraine is, man. It's fucking massive. And what I think Russia's ultimate goal is, right, there's Crimea, which they're not giving up. They want to like kind of bring it up to this. What's the name of this river? Like this river would make a good natural border between east and west. And it would take in it would give Crimea protection, and it would also give Russia a certain a definite border between NATO and themselves. And if you look at it, I don't know, I love doing this. If you look at it on a map as well, right, Belarus. So the Belarus is pro-Russia, all down here. But what they want to do is create basically a border between fucking where Crimea's hanging off. But they would like to take it up there for that wee bit of security and just bring it up. That's what I think Russia's ultimate goal will be. And they will get it because NATO aren't sending in their troops or creating a no-fly zone. And Ukraine's bitching and moaning. Well, Biden's fucking probably annoyed because he's lost money. His son's lost money in a deal in there. Anyway, man, sorry to bore you with that shit. I love that stuff. Right, where was I? Push the button. So that's... and the Kosovo war was with inside Yugoslavia, the old Yugoslavia. Forgot the whole purpose there. Right, so it was who was in charge? America's Task Force Hawk. Fist Force. Strength. Well, casualties and losses. I don't even give you the American losses. But anyway, part of the wee history I think that's going on Ukraine's western border. Now let's go back in time. Now remember Victoria Nuland.
We are joined now by the State Department's Undersecretary for Political Affairs, Victoria Nuland. She was also ambassador to NATO under the second Bush.
Wrong one. Don't want that one. I want the fucking EU one. This is the one I want. Now, bear in mind what's going on today and the coup, and I don't know if you remember the coup in Russia in in Ukraine in 2016, and that's where Russia elements, ethnic Russians, entrenched themselves in eastern Ukraine and stole and democratically took or annexed Crimea, depending on the way you look at it. Now, just to give you the attitude of the now, whether she's coming at it from American perspective or a perspective of NATO or just a little fucking wee club they're all in, who knows? But you do certainly get a snifter of her attitude.
But that is exactly what reportedly happened between US Assistant Secretary of State Victoria Nuland and US Ambassador to Ukraine Jeffrey Pyatt. The exchange has since surfaced online, including the crude swipe at the European Union. The audio clip of a woman and man, said to be Nuland and Pyatt, hears them discussing strategies to work with the three main opposition figures.
I don't think Klitsch should go into the government. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think...
Klitsch, she's talking about Klitschko, the old boxer, that this is who they were trying, this is who's getting proposed to go into the government, were elements proposing him, and they settled for a comedian instead. That's brilliant, isn't it? I think he's a comedian, am I tripping? So, this is America, the head and like the most influential element in NATO, talking about who should and should not go into the Ukrainian government.
It's a good idea.
In terms of him not going into the government, just let him sort of stay out and do his political homework and stuff. I'm just thinking, in terms of sort of the process moving ahead, we want to keep the moderate Democrats together. The problem is going to be Tony Book and his guys. And, you know, I'm sure that's part of what Yannick... Yanukovych is calculating on all of this.
I think Yats is the guy who's got the economic experience, the governing experience. He's the guy, you know, what he needs is Klitsch and Tony Book on the outside. He needs to be talking to them 4 times a week, you know. I just think Klitsch going in, he's going to be at that level working for Yatsenyuk. It's just not going to work.
There is a suggestion for Nuland to...
Right, so there's Nuland, the Foreign Secretary of America, and the Ambassador to Ukraine sitting almost... They probably have bits of paper with their pros and cons and their money shot and them bending over and all that, just to see the whole package. And, like, to me, that's obviously embarrassing. It was leaked with the Russians, intercepted with the Russians, and leaked with the Russians. For obvious reasons. But it goes to show what goes on behind the curtain when these wars are happening. We'll put Saddam in, we'll fucking get him out and blah, blah, blah. It's happened since time immemorial. And it's happening just now. From both sides, by the way, from both sides. Both sides are trying to install their people of power in the positions that they want to conquer.
Contact Klitschko directly to play to his top dog sensibilities, while Nuland refers to getting the United Nations involved in a political solution. And that's where the unfortunate comment arises.
I'm obviously not going to comment.
Obviously not. Why would you comment on a comment that just absolutely shows what goes on behind the curtain of world leaders? Well, even world leaders, a couple of Yankee Doodle dandies sitting next to each other.
On private diplomatic conversations.
It's not private, it's been released, you fit cow!
It was pretty impressive tradecraft. The audio was extremely clear. Hello, how are you? Good to see you. We're here from America. Would you like some bread? Please take something. Thank you.
If you don't know what tradecraft is, it's code for spy work. Well, it's no code even, it's common practice. It's like, well, it's no common practice, it's common knowledge. It's like being a spy is a trade. So they apply their trade, it's trade work. I've heard it.
This was Nuland and Payat visiting Independence Square in Kiev in December, handing out food to protesters and police. This latest episode is embarrassing for the US and allows Russia to argue that the opposition is being manipulated by Washington, something that...
What do you mean argue? It's clear as fucking day. She said herself it was good tradecraft. The audio was very clear.
Barack Obama has always denied. The clip was said to have been posted online by the Russian deputy PM.
Well, I'll take it back. I was saying 2016. It was 2014 that coup happened. So nearly eight years ago. And if this is them coming back to the unfinished business at 8 years.
But that has not yet been confirmed.
Right. Feck me sideways, man. Victoria Nuland, look. Fucking Harold Bishop in the wig, man. Oh my god, I can't believe I've bookmarked this. Right, but you... Oh no, you won't. What the fuck? Oh, come on, I want to... Anyway. I don't know if you've noticed, but... it's been... dissected, deconstructed, whatever you want to call it. And I noticed it as well, because, like, I don't know about you guys and gals. I don't want to spoil the payoff here, if it actually works. But, when I say chicken Kiev, it sounds like this.
Chicken Kiev.
Kiev. K-I. Ev. E-Ev. Now everybody in the press are in here. See if they go into a restaurant and ask for a chicken Kiev. I can't even remember how they're pronouncing it right, but it isn't Kiev. It's because there's a Russian way and a Ukrainian way of pronouncing it, and the actual bullcrap fucking talking heads on the news are using the Ukrainian way now. All their life, they've went into a restaurant or farm foods. I know all the BBC reporters eating farm foods.
Chicken, Kiev.
Kiev! Right, sorry, that was just a pet hate of mine. Okie dokie, man, that's nearly 2 hours I've done, I think, or just less than 2 hours. And now I'm talking about chicken Kievs. But remember, if you want to decipher, oh, there's the old flag of Ukraine. Plenty out there, man. I mean, flags tell stories. When and how and where when things changed, I think. So thanks to everybody that joined the chat and everybody that will watch after that. I'm going away to watch Guardians of Justice. If you did enjoy what I do and all that jazz, make sure you stick a wee thumbs up. It's much appreciated. And I should be back next Tuesday if the world hasn't ended. And I don't feel so depressed I want to be an ostrich and stick my head in the fucking ground and complete Netflix. Bright, nice to see you, Punk OG. Thank you all. Micmac, Cooks, Cobb and A, Crow Magnon. I don't know if that means something and I'm getting the piss took at me. But thanks for Blazing as well. Thanks Blazing for tuning in, my man. I'll give you a wee bill tomorrow or something. Thank you all. Let me see what's happening here. Thank you all. Have a good June. Don't die too soon. Remember, bunker down. Alex Jones has told us that that's it. It's over. China's going to release nukes. See, when China doesn't release nukes, what is he going to say? How many times is people going to believe that fucking his Nibiru shit? Swallow the same pill. He said this every fucking war. Panicked everybody with fear, nuclear fear. There'll be no nukes, man. They want whiskey and we want vodka. That'll keep the balance, I think. Right, hopefully see you next Tuesday or during the week or whatnot. Thanks for watching, y'all. Thumbs up. Catchies. Clips. Remember, citizens, that was in double, cause I'm double trouble bubble. And subscribe, hit the bell, and 1995. We'll keep you out of hell. Catchies.